The word environment makes LRE sound like a physical location, but it's actually a term to describe your child's educational program. Where your child learns is only one piece of the program. IDEA calls for children with disabilities to be educated with children who are non-disabled to the maximum extent appropriate. This means that children who receive special education should spend as much time as possible with peers who do not receive special education. The key word here is appropriate. It refers to what's suitable for each student to meet their educational needs and be successful in their educational experience. Each student has their unique educational needs. Therefore, there is not one right environment for all kids. The IEP team will work together to determine the appropriate LRE for your child. This team, which includes the child's parents, will consider the child's educational goals, abilities, and needs. Another term you will hear in conjunction with LRE is the word inclusion. An inclusion classroom is a general education classroom that includes students who receive special education. The concept of inclusion goes beyond placement in a general education class. It also aims to have a child participate in the classroom, lessons, and extracurricular activities. While IDEA says that students with disabilities should spend as much time as possible in the regular education classroom, it does not require this for all students. IDEA recognizes that not all children with disabilities will make progress in the regular education classroom. Therefore, it requires school districts to offer a continuum of placement options to ensure students are not excluded from public education. The continuum for placement options goes from the least restrictive option, the regular education classroom, to the most restrictive option, which is home instruction. More restricted means more segregated from typical peers. Another term you will hear in conjunction with LRE is FAPE, which is the requirement that your child is provided free, appropriate public education. So what does this mean for your child? Free means that your child must be educated at the public expense. Schools cannot charge parents for any service that is included on their child's IEP. Please keep in mind that families do have to pay the same incidental fees as regular education students. Appropriate requires educational expectations that are individualized for a child with disabilities. Public refers to the public school system. Private schools, including private religious schools, are not required to follow IDEA, and education means a public education that is provided to eligible school-aged children that prepares them for the future. Don't miss the other videos in this series to continue learning about the principles of IDEA.